Welcome, everybody, to this Sunday edition. We have been going live so many days. I need a bigger calendar for the Streakers Island podcast. It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst. Right now, I'm joined by the most dashing man you will ever see on your screen, Lane Dashing Dashco. And it looks like someone is ready for a day in the sun, Chazzy, the CEO.
Big game 4 for you boys tonight.
Oh, man, it's a big game for Toronto. You win this one, you take a stranglehold. But I'd argue it's as big of a game for the Winnipeg Jets. You win this game, you steal home ice advantage back.
Yeah.
Like, this is some really big hockey. But if you're Edmonton, how are you feeling right now? Is it for Edmonton? Like, Craig, you look frustrated.
No, it's not frustration. It's like your heart has to go to Connor McDavid. Like, the guys put everything there, Draisaitl, like everybody's competing on that team, and to come back again and try and push it to overtime and like, what was it, 0.4? 0.04 or 4, like you gotta that would have like I don't know, locked up the series, no?
Okay, so I have a very different opinion, and you guys are probably going to think I'm borderline insane. I have not seen enough from McDavid and Draisaitl.
What?
I don't care about the points. I'm watching the games. They are not taking over. That final goal, you have Draisaitl making an ill-advised pressure movement. You have McDavid not taking his responsibility defensively. That's a 2-on-4. How do you let that happen? And everyone's blaming, it's Stuart Skinner. And okay, I don't fully understand what he was doing. But at the same time, 3 out of the 4 goals, Edmonton was outnumbering Vegas 2-1 on the ice. And the other one was a terrible line change. Like, I'm sorry, but Edmonton handed Vegas this game on a silver platter. You don't make those 4 critical errors, you win this game 4-0.
Yeah, but they stayed in it. But that's also why they say you got to play the full 60. I think to your point, yeah, they just collapsed at the final seconds.
I don't know. I just want to see more from, and I get statistically they're doing a lot, but McDavid's only got 3 goals these playoffs. Draisaitl's only got 4.
They're still a big presence.
I don't think it's but you're not paying them to be a big presence. You're paying them to be the 2 best players in the world. So be the best players in the world. Riley Smith, I would argue, had a better game than Connor McDavid last night.
Do you think the defensive shortcomings for Edmonton is really starting to hurt them too? Like, especially not just having Matthias Ekholm back there that can kind of help a Leon Draisaitl or help Connor McDavid when they try to make these big pressure plays, try to make something happen. Then they get caught off guard, and then there's no defense back there to help out the goalie. You think that could be that's a big talking point too, right?
It is, because I mean, Edmonton's defense is not good. Like, let's just keep it 100. Their defense is not good, and their goaltending's mediocre. Like, I felt Stuart Skinner played okay. And I felt that second period, he did enough to give Edmonton a chance to win. Although apparently Shades completely disagrees with me and more agrees and he thinks that the D is tired. Skinner collapsed. It was a weird play from Stuart Skinner. I'm not denying it. I think More for Your Money is going to be on soon. So I'm pretty sure I just heard my front door open. So we're either being invaded by the boogeyman or we're going to get More for Your Money on very soon. But Lane, continue on your point about the defense. Like, do you think the D's tired, like Shades is saying? Do you think maybe the defense is just lacking some depth? Like, what's going on?
I think it's a little bit of everything. Like, just not having Matthias Ekholm, Jake Wallman. You did pick up Jake Wallman, but he was supposed to be the second option, right? And, you're facing Vegas. They got a lot of weapons, right? They got Mark Stone, Jack Eichel. They got Barbashev. They got so many different weapons that can hurt you. Thomas Hurdle. They got so many guys on the back end of their side. They got Hannafin, Pietrangelo. They just have so many things that when you're missing a key defenseman like Matthias Ekholm, there has to be so much more pressure put on that back end. And when they don't have those options or the skill set to do it, now you're relying on other guys. And I feel like, Connor McDavid, he's a fantastic player. No, But he's not really a defensive guy. He doesn't have that defensive he doesn't have really the defensive mindset of getting back, trying to sit back and block shots. He's all about speed, skill, getting down the ice, blowing by you, making some Sports Center highlight reel to make you look silly for the next 3 months on the top 10 best plays on Sports Center. But that's just
I'm going to bring this in. Is this a coaching? Was this a bad coaching error, leaving McDavid and Draisaitl out for as long as they did? I mean, once they tied it, to still basically leave McDavid and Draisaitl out for basically the last 2.5 minutes of the game. Is that where you maybe trust your depth guys? Because truthfully, I think the depth players, I completely disagreed with Sportsnet when they were blaming all of the secondary guys. Like Corey Perry had 2 goals. Connor Brown was flying again. Evander Kane throwing some hits, even one that I don't think should have been a penalty that was. But it's just, I don't know, it's tough, right? And Shades, I think you make a great point too here when you're saying it's just quick stand if the goalie can't revive the D with a huge save. But I felt Skinner did that in the second period. There were 5 or 6 really high quality chances that Vegas had that they didn't score. I don't know. Maybe if Calvin Pickard's in that, maybe you win that game, which is, I think we're just explaining Edmonton's problem right now.
Yeah.
Is there any update on Pickard?
He's day to day. He injured his leg awkwardly in game 2. Finished the game, but you could tell wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see. I think Vegas has made it a series.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, now for sure.
But I mean, I really do feel with you, Lane. I just don't know if Edmonton has the depth defensively to do what they want to do, and with the mediocre goaltending. Speaking of mediocre, though, do you know who's not mediocre? Mr. Moore for his money.
There he is.
Who has his mic muted as always because he always forgets to turn it on.
Your mic.
Dan, turn on your mic.
Everyone, how's it going?
There we go.
Hey, I'm good.
Congratulations, Dan, on learning how to turn on a microphone. So, Dan, who do you blame, Stuart Skinner or the defense for Edmonton for the collapse? That's kind of what we've been chatting about right now.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Let's get right into it. I don't need no intro. I can just jump right on in. I think I don't know what to say. I think the overall game, you got to blame Stuart Skinner, because if he didn't allow so many goals, none of this would have happened. But that last goal, I'm like, I totally blame the defense there. I mean, Skinner, in my opinion, did the right thing. With no time left, you would think in theory you would go out to challenge a shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Totally makes sense. But if there's a couple goals, I mean, I could have stopped them. I mean, it was Wiley Smith coming down the wing. I love you, bud, but don't disrespect. You're not Sidney Crosby. You're not Connor McDavid. I think I could have stopped Wiley Smith.
You're right. You're not Connor McDavid, because Connor McDavid, every time he's trying on a 1-on-4 against Vegas, he wasn't getting through.
Yeah, but it works 97% of the time.
And even the one goal we should have had, which I believe was Vegas' first goal when he didn't catch the slap shot cleanly. It's still a 1-on-4 in front of the net, and Edmonton loses another puck battle. You can't lose that many puck battles and expect to win.
No, you can't.
And and Dan, I want to ask you too, because Lane and Chazzy both kind of looked at me like I had 3 heads. But I don't think you're getting enough out of McDavid and Draisaitl in these playoffs.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, when you look at McDavid and Draisaitl in the past, they're getting, 3 points a game? We're seeing out of Nico Antonin. We're seeing out of William Prince, my true love, but we're not seeing it with Draisaitl and McDavid. They're playing mediocre point a game, which is fine and dandy, but it's not quite good enough when you only have, I say when you only have 2 superstars. That's not really the case. I mean, you think of someone, you look at a second line of Hyman, Vermoose, and Kane. That'll be a top line on like 15 NHL teams, right?
I don't think it is anymore. I think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is one of the most underwhelming first overall picks. He did have 100
points a couple years back.
I don't care what he did 3 years ago.
I'm just stating he can do it.
I think it just brings a different. I actually wouldn't say. I don't think he's as disappointing. Maybe you wouldn't pick him first overall, but I don't think he's been terrible. I still think Nail Yakupov by far is the most disappointing first overall pick because
Alexander Digg.
Because at least in Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, like right, he may not have his top offense. He may not he may not always be 100-point guy, but I think he's a really good second line center and someone who can really play a good shutdown role, good two-way forward, really knows he's really responsible both sides of the ice, kind of has that good veteran mentality where, he knows when he needs to score, he knows when he needs to sit back, kind of let the game take itself. He doesn't take over and doesn't do things like when sometimes Connor McDavid, like last night, would try to take over and say, oh, I'm going to score the big goal because I'm Connor McDavid. Where Nugent-Hopkins maybe comes out in a minute later and goes, okay, it's 3-3, a minute left. Let's just get this into overtime.
Yeah.
So that's where, again, you do bring up the coaching and shades. Like, I got to agree. Like, I think Alexander Digg was one of the most underwhelming first overall draft picks.
Yeah, 100%.
But I don't know. It's going to, I'm really curious to see how Edmonton responds because that is, I'm just going to be honest, that was one of the most devastating ways to lose. Right up there with the Blues thinking they're going to move on in the next round and then with 1.6.
1.6, yeah.
Right? Like, there's been some.
I just love that second camera angle. That second camera angle just tells it all when they show the net and it looks like the goalie was on the bench. Like, where was he?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I gotta say, if someone told me that Draisaitl was going his own neck with 0.4 seconds left, I wouldn't believe it. Like, it's one of those things you had to witness to see it was the truth. Like that.
Was it going wide?
Yes.
Oh, it was going wide.
100,000 million %. That's wide. That is not going in the net.
Well, now
One of those things. Well, he'll rise above next game. They usually do.
Yeah, but who? Like McDavid, Draisaitl, Skinner? One of them.
Well, I was saying earlier before you got on the island there, more for that. Like my heart went out to Connor. Just you want them to obviously hoist the cup, but
yes,
to lose that way and like I don't know, to bring them. He scored that last goal, so. I
was sad to witness for sure.
But to your point, I don't know. Maybe it is a coaching decision. Maybe take them off for a minute or put them on for the last 30 seconds if you want them out there so bad.
Yeah, I don't.
You got some physical lines there that can take over on 3-4, even if you use your second line, right? So,
like, you know what? Just play it smart there and go like Nugent Hopkins, Kane, and Brown to get you to
play it lockdown. Yeah.
Like someone argued
overtime, I think Edmonton would have had the advantage. They're at home.
Oh yeah,
they tied
on
it
the
up.
fresh beat of ice, for sure.
Vegas potentially could lose a game by scoring on their own net.
Mind you, Vegas is fast too, though. They're two I find equally like speedy teams.
I'm still taking Edmonton in overtime if that game gets to overtime. I'm just keeping it a buck.
So any word on Mark Stone?
Just that he did not return that game. Obviously, there's no word yet. But knowing Mark Stone, he won't be back. He probably. I don't think he'll play next game.
You don't think he will?
No, I don't. Mark Stone seems to. Whenever he gets injured, he seems to be out for a bit.
Is it just me? Oh, how come there's a controversial, accidental play? As well as he's Corey Perry.
He did nothing wrong. He's just all mad. I'm not going to put your comment on the screen, Shades, just because we can't put profanity on the screen. But Stone is
hurt. He's hurt. We'll put it that way. He's hurt.
But let's get into, we got the Jets game coming up in about over half an hour. How big is this game for Winnipeg to win to get home ice back?
Very important for Winnipeg.
It's okay. I forgive you. It's okay. It's okay. Please don't cry. Then Lane will start to cry. I don't want to see that.
Then I have to cry.
Yeah, but how big of a game is this coming up for Winnipeg?
Very
huge. Huge game. You got to get it back, right? Like this has been sort of the talk for Hellebuck. And I was actually, when we were talking before live, I said I don't know if I'm Hellebuck, I don't think he should be going out there being like, "Whew, those yips are off my back now. I'm good now." I'm like, I don't know if I'd be saying that. Get through the road game first. This is statistically when you're the worst is you're a 5-goal GAA on the road in your playoff history on the road. So I don't know if I'd be going out there saying, "Oh, I got a shutout and don't worry about my yips. They're gone, boys." I'm like, get through the game first. Let the play speak for yourself. Get the win on the road, and then maybe come out and say, "Yeah, I'm good now, boys." I don't know.
Good point. Good point. I agree with
That's
that.
kind of weird.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, Lane, but at the same time, I think a confident Hellebuck is the best Hellebuck. I'm just gonna.
I hope so.
For Winnipeg,
Confident or cocky?
what's wrong with being confident? Oh,
No, he's confident. He's not cocky. Cocky's more like he'll start spewing stuff.
Now chat. I get okay, but I'm looking at this game for Winnipeg, and I know they only need the split, right? But I think it's critical for them to get the win get it in now.
I agree.
Yeah.
Shades is the best. They need to win.
Get the win. I agree with you, Shades. Get the win. And then if you lose game 4, well, now it's just a best of 3.
Right.
Yep, that's for sure.
If you just look at it, it's going to be harder, I think, to win 2 in a row later in this series than it's going to be now.
I think so.
So get your win, because if they can get a split here, and then all they got to do is win game 5 and game 7, right? If they can just win at home after that. So critical game. I'm expecting the Jets to come out very aggressive.
Yeah.
Not seeing any changes in their lineup from last game, which, I mean, that just makes sense.
That was my next point. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with having veteran physical defensemen and Luke Sen and Logan Stanley and not play them.
I get not playing Logan Stanley. I don't not get playing 2-time Stanley Cup champion Luke Shen, who I think's been a big impact in this series.
Well, I agree. I think it's a big mistake. Look, like, what are their defense? Like, there's 2 defensemen you can easily take off.
So their D, we're looking at Morrissey, DeMello, Sandberg, Pionk, Hayden Fleury, and Colin Miller. I'm probably taking Hayden Fleury off if it's me.
Yeah.
He did play well in that overtime game. I don't know who this Sandberg guy is. We don't need
Very
him.
good. Very, very, very solid 2-way defenseman.
I'm with you, Jacob. I think I'd rather have Luke Shen and at least Colin Miller.
Yeah, Colin Miller. Why are we weighing him? Like,
I just feel if you're Winnipeg into this game, you got to carry that momentum over.
You do. That's true.
You're coming 100%. Off a shutout.
That's true about Hella.
And I agree with you, Shades, too, on the whole confidence saying he needs it. And I agree with you, Chazzy. This is a game that Winnipeg just got to keep the momentum from last game. Last game, they played really well. Limited Dallas to only around 20 shots. Rantanen looked quiet again. And I also say the forward group, too. I like where we're at for lines right now.
I was just going to say that. It's the first time the forward group looked completed all playoffs. I get they have the full lineup, but not just the full lineup. If they looked for the whole 60 minutes, they looked like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. But I mean, my only question is just though, and going back to the Hellebuck thing, just a quick question: like, what happens? You let in the first 2 goals on 3 shots, and then it becomes a 7-6, 7-2 game. You get pulled. Then what are you going to say when the media goes, "So those yips," Like it's good to have confidence. I'm not saying it's not, but when you've had such a struggle in one specific area of your game, and it's been such it's always seems to be in one area. It's always on the road in the playoffs. It's never at home. He seems to do really well. It's always on the road in another barn on the playoffs is where he always seems to have that game. My only point is, why would you not get through the game first? Play the game first, get the shutout, and then you can go on and say, you know what? I'm good. And all this noise that's behind me doesn't matter anymore. That's all I'm saying.
You know what, Lane? I actually do see what you're saying there, because Hellebuck on the road and Hellebuck at home have been 2 very, very, very different players. in these playoffs. And I also agree with Shades here saying that the Jets forwards are studs.
Yeah, 100%. I agree
they've
with
been
that too.
playing at a really high level. And I think now with having Scheifele and Ehlers back and Velarde and Iafallo, you're just getting so much depth that when Dan talked about, they don't have enough depth. Well, now that they're healthy, their forward line looks deep enough.
Can they stay healthy, though? That's been the issue, right?
I would still like a better second line center, but I will say that, as is my opinion, but I will say he has been playing well.
Nemstikov, he's been really good.
Niskakov's been good. That's his name.
Had a great playoff.
I'm always pronouncing that name. Niskakov. It's pretty badass. I love it. But he's been playing good. So
yeah, he's a really good player.
He's been one of their more consistent guys on the team this playoff run, right? Like, I mean, he's got 4 points in 9 games and a +1, but he scored some big goals and been a part of big goals in big moments.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
He's doing it without playing a crazy amount of minutes either. Like, he's only playing between when the lineup's healthy, he's only playing 14 minutes a game. Right. So no, he's been a big factor for this team.
And he's a big body too, if I'm not mistaken, and he's fast, right?
Yeah, he is big. He's very tall.
Yeah. So, and I think what Jacob said, he's not getting all the points like, John Tavares is a second line center, but he's getting the points Winnipeg needs. If I'm not mistaken, like that crazy Game 7, he got one of the goals there, right? So, he's been really good.
So before we move to the Toronto Maple Leafs, since Dan already wants to talk about his second man crush, John Tavares, who's winning this game between the Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars? I sent you all a challenge on streakers because that's just how I roll.
Check that out.
I did too.
Yeah, but you tried to make me pick Florida, so like get wrecked. But
that's what a rivalry is, bro.
I'll take that one more. I'll take that rivalry right there.
Who's winning tonight though between Dallas and Winnipeg? I'm going to go first. I'm going to say Winnipeg carries the momentum. I think Hellebuyck gets over these road demons. He seems confident. The forward lines are rolling, and they get a big W. Lane, who are you taking in this one? Do you think Dallas is going to be like Dallas is back home, so that's going to be a tough one for Winnipeg?
Yeah. Until like I said, I have to see it to believe it. I'm going with the Dallas Stars. I think they're going to want to bounce back from their game too. They don't want to lose their first game at home. It's just as big for them as well, right? You could talk on both sides how big it is for Winnipeg to carry the momentum. But if you're Dallas, you don't want to lose momentum, right? You just lost. You just got shut out in Winnipeg in the whiteout. Now you're back home. You have a chance to really kind of take your side of this of the dice and kind of go high rolling here and try to get 2 big wins. So it's a big game for Dallas to come out and respond here and try to get maybe Hellebuyck, who, if he is confident and thinks he's good, try to get him back to being kind of nervous again. So I think Dallas has to win. I think they got to come out and score some big goals and kind of get the momentum back on their side.
So right now we're split. Chazzy, who are you taking? Are you taking the Winnipeg Jets? Are you taking the Dallas Stars?
In this situation, I'd like to take the Jets, but I'm going to go the Stars until we see a different Hellebuyck on the road. He's been yanked the last 3 times, right? And now you're going against a better Stars team off a loss. And I know we say Nico's been sort of quiet, but these are the times that he sort of like quietly takes over. So I expect more Stars than Jets today, just today.
So we are also seeing Shades is saying the Jets need this win, though, but the Stars will win.
Yeah, Shades, let's
agree
go.
with him. Yes.
Join the Chazzy and Dash side. Yeah.
More for. Who are you taking? I'm going to get really close here while I ask you. Dan, do you feel close?
Well, here's what I think. I'm going to leave this a split. I'm going to take for Jets, and I'm going to let Streakers win. The fans be the split vote, and so far split vote is Shades with the Stars. The reason why I'm picking for Jets, though, is because Nico Rantanen has done an incredible thing. He's been on incredible one for the past, 4 or 5 games roughly, getting 3-4 points a game. That's fine and dandy. It's amazing. It's not Michael Jordan level, but it's really amazing. Last game, though, he got shut out, as well as the whole team. So now it's $1 million question. For those last 5 or 6 games, was that a fluke? Or was Nhl Playoff really Michael Jordan on skates? This game will decide that factor, and I think it was a very good fluke. I don't think he's Michael Jordan, and I think Winnipeg will take this game.
Man, it looks like Blaine is so dashing that Shades has been seduced.
Whoa, yeah. Oh.
Well, let's move on now to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I have a girlfriend, everybody. I'm just saying.
Well, maybe more want to join the party, right?
Now let's move on to the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Florida Panthers. This game's coming on at 7:30 tonight. For the viewers at home who know, we are going to, if the Winnipeg game ends early, we're going to try to jump back on and do a little bit more of a pregame and that where we have more time to actually talk about it.
First double header, quite possibly.
But
on the island.
How big of a game is this? I think for both teams, this is a huge game. Toronto really wants to take that stranglehold the way they did with Ottawa, getting in a point where you have 3 or 4 shots to take down another team. Florida really wants to make this a best of 3, because let's be honest, if Florida can make it a best of 3, as much as this is a different team under Berube, some doubts may start to oh no, not again. No. But that's not me right now as a Leaf fan at all. However, this is big. You're pointing at yourself. Are you going, no, peekaboo?
Honestly, after game 3, I kind of was. I really felt truly heartbroken after game 3. I was kind of in the field because I felt like that was just a game. Like I know Florida was coming, but you had to win that game. You had 2 multiple goal leads in that game, and even when you went down, you tied it and forced overtime. And they were the better team in overtime for the most of it. Like that's just a game. If you're the Leafs, you got to pull that out. And then you have the past of Brad Marchand, who we all was worried about could be the guy that ruins it. And of course, just like that, just like how the weather, how it will shine, the sun will shine again tomorrow. Brad Marchand scores and ends the game on an overtime winner. I was just like, no, come on, guys, like you got to win. And now, like you said, Jacob, they have to win tonight. Like you can't go into a best of 3 with the defending Stanley Cup champions. That might not be the way to go. You got to try to get one against Florida here and go home and take it off in 5.
The thing is, so for Toronto, Lane, you made a really good point when you said they outplayed Florida in the overtime, and that's why I'm not as concerned. Even the goal Florida scored, yeah, it went off Morgan Rielly, but even Morgan Rielly played it right. He boxed out the guy in front of the net. It just took a bad bounce. Things like that will happen. I think Toronto is still in good shape right now. You have control. If you win tonight, even if you lose tonight, I still don't feel it's any reason to hit the panic button because they're beating Bobrovsky. Now, let's say we lose. Let's say in theory, Toronto loses 3-0 tonight and Bobrovsky makes like 46 saves. Then I'm worried because the playoff Bob comes in. Joseph Woll cannot go save for save with playoff Bob. Right now, he can go save for save with this version of Bobrovsky.
No.
Yes, he can. Joseph Woll. Dan, I get you think he is the worst player in history to ever be on the ice, but he is not. He's not playing as well as Anthony Stolarz, but that's to be expected.
It's better than Stuart Skinner. I'll give him that.
He's playing good enough, I feel. Even I felt in that game 3, he played good enough to give the Leafs a chance.
He
and I
made
think
some
the
big
other
saves,
problem
no?
for Toronto is your core 4 is actually playing pretty well.
Oh, it's the Matthews.
Yeah. Oh, don't.
Okay, so how can you say that? How can you say that when your number 1 sniper hasn't scored in the series? Because we just had the same debate about Connor.
Yeah, he needs to be
because
better.
Austin Matthews is doing all the little things right that Connor McDavid is not. How many turnovers did McDavid have last game? How many takeaways did Matthews have? There's a difference.
Why?
Connor McDavid's not out there killing penalties and blocking shots the way Austin Matthews is. Also, too, straight up, I don't put those 2 players in the same category. Because Austin Matthews is not as good of a player as Connor McDavid on a pure skill level.
No, I'm
Not-
not saying for leaders of their team right now in their series.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have William Nylander has stepped up though, who has multi-point games in every game this series. So someone is stepping up for Toronto. Right now, I just feel for Edmonton between McDavid and Draisaitl, neither one of them are doing enough. And I do agree with Shades here 100%. You don't want to see playoff Bob.
No.
That's what I'm saying for Toronto. They have to continue to light the lamp.
Yeah. 100%.
Am I happy Matthews only has 2 goals? Obviously not. I'd like him to have more. But Nylander, Shades.
Yeah. I agree.
You can't have Nylander captain when he doesn't even like to back check half the time. I love the guy. He forgets his key fob. Can't get in the
3
building.
games. Who cares?
But
You
he's
only
been
need 4
a
wins.
player these playoffs. Surprisingly, Mitch Marner is very quietly having a really good playoffs.
Yeah.
Like
He wants his moolah.
Tavares
worse.
is the lowest out of the core 4, only one who's not getting a point per game, but does have 5 goals.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, the big surprise to me actually has been Max Pacioretty. When we talked about the depth in Edmonton, guys like Connor Brown and Corey Perry and Evander Kane, you're seeing it in Toronto with Matty Nyes with 7 points, Max Pacioretty with 7 points. Morgan Riley's having a really big playoffs as well.
See, that's just the pedigree we have coming out of Montreal, so you're welcome.
Well, Morgan Riley has 7 points in 9 games these playoffs.
He's been really good.
Yeah.
He's also third on the Leafs back end with shot blocks. That's a big thing too. OEL's the only defenseman of under 20 shot blocks
Wow.
for the Leafs defense.
That's impressive.
So that's been a big difference maker. And there are no lineup changes for the Leafs tonight. I know we discussed, some people think they should bring in Ryan Reeves. Some people don't. Some people think Nicholas Robertson should come in the lineup. Some people don't. Some people think that Dan probably thinks Matt Murray should start. Dan, do you think Matt Murray should start tonight? Oh.
I don't know about tonight because
Thinking about it.
you can't blame Wall for the whole game, but I mean, come on. There was a couple of goals where Murray Wall could have had very easily, and then they would have won the game. So, but I would feel a lot more comfortable going 3-1 in this series versus 2-1.
And Shades, when you say this about captains don't back check, they call out the shy ones on the team. I think it shows a lot when your captain does back check. Look at Sidney Crosby in Pittsburgh, right?
Like,
Look at Sasha Barkov in Florida. When your leadership guys do things like that, it does make a big difference.
or you could be like Ovi and stand in your one spot and wait the goal record.
It's the reason why Ovechkin has 1 cup and Crosby has multiple.
3, yeah.
By the way, did you guys see that Canada game today? Wow.
No,
Canada
I've
versus
seen it, yeah.
Latvia. It was like 5-1.
7-1 final.
I saw there was one save. I saw the highlight on Facebook, and it was great seeing Marc-Andre Fleury just like looking like he's still in development.
He's coming back.
No, he's not.
No, he's
But-
not.
I think he made 6 or 17 saves today.
He is. I think Matt Murray is more likely to start a playoff game this year, and Marc-Andre Fleury will come back.
Wow, really?
No,
But what's the speculation? Is Stoller's coming back game 5, or is he coming back at all?
he still hasn't
Any word?
skated yet.
No.
This is a
We
tough
don't
one.
know.
I'll
don't
put
know.
it this way. If Joseph Wall lets in another bad goal tonight, and Storv is not back for game 5, I would consider playing Murray for game 5.
I don't know.
So it's time to look at some Matt Murray stats. In the AHL, I will say AHL, he put up some good numbers this year. He only played 21 games, but he went 10-5.
When was his
having a
last
172
NHL game?
goals against average
2 years
and a
ago.
934 save percentage. So, okay. But his NHL stats for the Leafs in 3 games were absolutely abysmal. He did win 2 of them, but he had a 354 goals against average and an 879 save percentage. I don't know about Matt Murray coming in the playoffs.
That was last year.
This year, he played 3 games for the Leafs this year.
Did he
What, in
actually?
October?
He
In
did.
October?
Yeah, it was early season when we had a lot of injuries. When they were trying to figure
I
out if
don't
they were going to go
remember that.
Hildebrand or Murray.
I remember it. Yeah.
So has he been hurt this whole time, or
No, he's been playing in the Marlies.
Hmm.
And in the Marlies, I will say, too, his one playoff game played very well, right? So, and he does have that playoff experience. And actually, you look at his playoff numbers, he was good.
For comeback kid, let's do it.
What was that?
I just-
Cleveland they played first round?
Yeah, when they lost in a best of 3 series, which, man, a best of 3 series is so stupid.
Should be 5.
Should be 7. It's a development league. Develop the players.
Do they? How many? Yeah, 4. I guess
But
4.
wow, Shades thinks Murray will get in at some point next game.
That's what I'm saying.
That'd be crazy.
I'd be very hesitant, right? He hasn't played in the NHL in months. I'd be very, very hesitant.
I don't even remember those games.
I don't know why Hildeby was the backup in game 4, because I even wonder maybe having Matt Murray as a calming presence might have even helped.
Yep. Look at what of.
Come on, what about the Hildebeest?
He's another rookie, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, Shades really wants Matt Murray in this game. Like, I think
Yeah.
I'm needing Brock Nelson's agent more for. I think Shades is desperately wants to become Matt Murray's agent. He wants to help him back in his Sault Ste. Marie days.
Why not? I'm down.
But are you guys? I'm not surprised personally. The Leafs have made 0 changes to their lineup. Are you guys surprised?
No.
No.
I think it
Because
would have been a mistake to change the lines up. To be honest, I
You
think
gotta ride the hot wave of patches there.
yeah.
Like they've lost 2 games in the playoffs. You're not making changes off of 2 games.
no, and like you look at this, and Daily Faceoff for some reason puts the Lawton line as the 3rd line. It's realistically the 4th line, but you're getting production from all 4 lines. I'd even argue the 4th line, even though they're not putting a lot of pucks in the net, they're playing well.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not too concerned.
I'm a little concerned about McMahon. If there's one guy I feel like you could take out as McMahon, I just feel like he really has not really contributed a lot.
He
He
has
does
one
lead the team in
so far,
hits.
but he is leading the team, and he's 2nd in hits.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Patches is 1st.
That's right. Yes, I
That's
forgot.
crazy.
More for you did call last game. Nylander was going to have a great game, and he sure did.
100%. He just steps it up and never level in the playoffs. I don't know if he has extra conditioner in the shampoo for playoff time or what it is, but he just finds I never level in there, And that's the thing I gotta say. I hear a lot of Leaf fans, Mr. Daskell is one of them, they're really hitting the panic button because they lost 1 game against Florida. As William Nylander says, it's just a game, okay? This team is different than years past. Berube is a different coach than years past. And they didn't get blown out. They lost in overtime. If it wasn't for a wall, it would have never been into overtime anyway. So, and it was still leading 2-1 in the series. So I don't think it's quite time to hit the panic button. And even if Florida does win tonight, I just say it'll be a 7-game series. Toronto still has a home ice advantage in 3 games. This is a different Leaf team than before. This is the farthest they may have lifted the coal for. So let's get it in.
My big thing, though, Dan, when you say it's a different team, I don't think they prove they're a different team until they beat Florida and make it to the conference finals. That was the standard
Yes.
that we all made.
Conference finals or bust, you say?
Lane, I don't know if
right.
you made that standard or not because you were still on your paddle boat to get to the island at the time.
Yeah.
But we all felt that the Leafs had to make it to the conference finals.
No, 100%.
And if they
Yeah.
if you don't, major changes are happening.
Oh, yeah. Even if like at this point in the series, even if they blow, like let's hope not, but even if they lost at this point, I'd be like, it's not good enough. Because I feel like, you got up and you've been playing so well. Like, this is a team that they need to show, like, it's been too many years. If this is like the 2nd or 3rd year when they first got the team together, This is
Different
like their
story.
second or third year as a team. I'd be like, you know what, second round. But it's been like 8 to 10 years now of this team, and I feel like at this point, it's too little, too late to be like it's only the second round, it's only the third round. Even I would say even the cup, even if they got to the third round, maybe not major changes, but I don't think you're happy if you get past Florida and you get eliminated by Carolina. I don't think you're extremely happy about that either.
Well, you're calling that. So, whoa. Lane, so
Stop
you're
the press.
saying Carolina will definitely beat Washington.
Well, yeah, 100%, yeah. I think it's over. I think it's over. I said
thought
I think it's
Washington
over.
played terrible.
Now, Lane, are you saying that by like Washington looks gassed, like they look fatigued, or are you just?
I just think
Carolina's that much better.
It's just that much better. They just don't give you anything. And I know everyone says, "Oh, that's just the way Washington plays." No, Carolina is just that defensively responsible. They're not going to give you a lot of options. And you see, like Washington is struggling to get more than like 20 shots a game. Like they just don't. It's not like they don't have the offense or the talent to do it. They're just not getting the options. And Carolina just keeps going down there. They have so much depth. They have so much, and their defense is just so tight knitted that even though Freddie Anderson may not be a number one goalie, as long as they play their style, you can't really do anything against them.
I disagree. I don't think Washington's done yet. There was, as Willie Nylander says, there was one game. Wilson,
Yeah, but the difference is
welfare handling hits.
Yeah, but
stop it. The difference is for Washington, they have not been playing well, right? Like I look at the way the Leafs played when they lost that one game to Florida. They played a pretty good game, and they did, they just didn't get the bounces. Washington in 2 out of the 3 games have been outplayed, and very outplayed. So, Chazzy, I want to ask you this too, and then we'll get back to the Leafs and a point I want to make about their playoff history. But Chazzy, when you saw Washington taking on Montreal, was it this common for Washington to go down stretches where they just didn't do anything?
No, it was a fresher Washington than what we're seeing here in Carolina, it looks like. Mind you, they had the spurt of the second game to put everything together, not to go down 2-0. But this last game, like, OV was knocked around. I don't know who knocked down in the corner there. Someone caught OV with his head down. You don't see that. I don't know. I just didn't see a fresh cap. Maybe it's one of those games and they'll come out like they did in game 2, game 4, take it back to Washington. But I'm with you, Lane. Like Carolina's just on lockdown. And then the weapons that they have, who scored that goal with about 2 seconds off the faceoff? Savlenkov or
Svechnikov.
Yeah,
he's good.
He's a good player, very underrated player. My
like opinion. The hands on that team up on the top 6, like
they're deadly.
Yeah. I still like Washington's winning a series. Logan Thompson had an off night. Maybe you put in what's his name?
Lindgren. No.
Lindgren. Give Thompson another game. Worst case, if he's bad, put in Lindgren.
Dan, I'm moving your head so I can do one thing.
Oh
no. No.
But some of the position of those pucks, the way that they went in, those are nasty.
That's
like in the top of the net, like
but if it wasn't for Logan Thompson, you wouldn't have won game 2. I don't even think you'd beat Montreal without Logan Thompson in net. You're not switching goalies at this point.
Oh no.
But when Lane brings up the Leaf playoff history earlier, I do want to bring in the Leaf playoff history into account.
It's so sad.
This is kind of depressing.
You want to do this right now before game?
Yes, I do. And I'm looking in this 04
wants to make me cry before the team even starts.
The 04-99 run, this team was close. They did make it to the conference finals twice. Right?
Jersey.
Now, I do want to preference this when Chazzy and Morfor were arguing with me that Ed Belfour was a franchise goalie to the same level as Cujo. Cujo left at the end of the 02 season. What happened? They have never made it to the 3rd round since. They lost their franchise goalie.
Definitely a franchise
let's even go back even further. to the Felix Pock fan era. As soon as he started to fall apart and not be a franchise goalie anymore, they sucked. This era needed the goalie. And then you have all the, oh, good Lord. And then, okay, we made the playoffs, and then it was 3-1. 3-1. Now we get into the core 4 era, right?
Is that what you call it that year? The 3-1?
The 3-1 era.
The 3-1 year?
And this is where I think Lane really drives it home from this core 4. They've had more than enough time to make it further than what they have.
For sure.
Like when this first one, when you lost to Washington in the first round,
Big deal.
who cares? Then you lose to Boston. Then you lose to Boston.
Then you lose to
And it's like, oh, well, we just can't beat Boston. Then you lose to Columbus.
Yeah, it was bad.
And then you lost to Montreal.
Then you lose to
Don't
Montreal. Then you lose to Tampa.
Then you lose to
you beat-
Boston.
Then you beat, oh, it's Boston. Sorry. But then you beat Tampa. Woohoo! Then you get creamed by Florida.
Yeah.
Then you lose to Boston.
There's a lot of
This
Boston in there.
Has to go minimum conference finals.
I agree.
And if I even agree with Lane to a point, if you get to the conference finals and let's say you get slaughtered by Carolina, then major change has to come.
That can't happen, bro.
Yes, it could. Carolina outworks every opponent.
Toronto's definitely a better team.
You told me that there was no way in HE double hockey sticks that Dallas was going to beat Colorado, and look what happened.
Wow.
I
That's because
could-
Michael Jordan was skating, according to you guys.
Carolina's defensive is just so good that I do get scared that they could just lock down the Leafs. It scares me a little bit.
So I see shades. I'm going to get the comment section back up as I was flipping between my 18,000 screens.
Yeah,
First of all, Lane needs a hug. So, Shade, get in there since you want to seduce him. We're back to wanting Ryan Reeves into the lineup. No.
I agree with that.
No.
Yes.
Ryan Reeves back.
Can't skate.
That's okay.
I'm gonna
Even
pull
get
my
Michael
hair
Jordan.
out.
Look what he
I
did
got
for
my fucking
Dallas.
haircut yet.
Didn't take advantage of the sale. It's dumb.
And then you're saying the Toronto media ruined them. No. You're being paid millions of dollars. Get over it.
Oh.
The media is doing their job. You could have argued that the media could have ruined the Toronto Argos last year of everything that happened, and they didn't.
What do they do? What's the Argo for this? The media for the Argos? One reporter?
Oh, no, it's more than that. Get wrecked. But what I'm getting at is other teams have media crap shoots.
But it's not the same, Jacob. I understand. I think I know what he's trying to. It's like the
Yeah.
media plays such an important role for Toronto. Like they really do add on. Like it's like they're their own team themselves. Like they add on like so much amount of pressure. I feel like sometimes, especially in those game sevens where it's like they do not ever shut up about it. Like TSN 1050 every like 3 seconds is like it's game 7. It's game 7. It's like yeah, we know, bro. It's game 7. Like I do think like. You can say what about the Argos or the Blue Jays, but it's just not the same. There's just so much more noise coming from Sportsnet Radio, TSN Radio, TS analysts, Sportsnet analysts. They're talking about it. Yeah, they're talking about it 24/7, right? Like it's the only thing they talk about is they lost this game, it's over. Oh, they lost this game, the core 4. Oh, they lost this game. Like the Leafs.
But if you want to be paid the big money, you gotta figure it out. You can go play. Well, you can't play in Arizona anymore. Well, I guess you can go join a rec league in Arizona if you want. But I do want to bring in Shade's point before I quickly ask about the Leafs game tonight, because then we got to go watch the Jets. Did you know, Shades, the CFL actually doubles to triple NHL TV ratings for the regular season? And the Grey Cup will infinity times more than the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Just a point to put out there. The CFL is a league that everyone says nobody watches, but then I go and look at the TV numbers, and I'm like, well, then why is the Leafs Montreal primetime Saturday night lucky to get 200,000 viewers when Edmonton Elks versus BC Lions game is getting like 600,000-700,000 viewers?
Where are those numbers coming from, though?
Right from Third Down Nation and from TSN Reporting, who airs both. Right. And the Sportsnet, why would Sportsnet undervalue their product, Dan? Please explain. I'm all ears. Call me Will Smith.
You don't want me to get political on here, so I won't.
What do you mean? It has nothing to do with political. Why? So you're telling me because of whoever is the prime minister, Sportsnet would like to lose money on their ads?
No, but you look at like CBC.
CBC doesn't air the football. They haven't in over 10 years.
They air the hockey.
They only air it to be nice because it's actually in the Canadian Constitution that they have to air it.
I'm just saying we could manipulate the numbers so we go take CBC's actual thing.
Again, why would they manipulate the number to be worth less money?
No, but I'm saying
yes. Dan, that is like saying you should sell me a car at lower than cost so you have more sales.
No, I'm just saying like
that is what you're saying.
No,
talking about more for his money, he wants to give away the ads.
No, because you were saying that like apparently football does more numbers than hockey, right?
It does. The cable numbers are better.
But who has cable nowadays?
Still over 75% of Canada has cable.
I don't know.
We're hitting the ice here, boys. So we should pick this conversation up on the.
I think this conversation is going to be a Tuesday conversation. But Shades, thank you for the comment. I appreciate it, so I can make Dan look like an idiot. That's always fun. So quickly before we go, in case we don't get on before the Leaf game, who's winning, Toronto or Florida? I'm saying Toronto. Toronto's going to take a 3-1 series lead. Dashing Dashco, dash away through the snow on your one-horse open sleigh.
I'm with Jacob. I feel like they have to. I feel like if they lose tonight, it's full-on panic mode. So I'm going to say Toronto because I feel like they have to win tonight.
No panic. No panic. Chazzy, Florida, Toronto.
I'm hoping we make it back here just before game because I want to see how sweaty you guys are going to get. But I think the Panthers will tie this up. I think there's enough veteran leadership here that they're going to carry that momentum, and it's going to be the best of three.
More for your money, even though you don't understand how ad sales work in television. Who is winning, Toronto or Florida?
Well, I'm wearing my Austin Matthews shirts today. I think Matthews is going to have a good game. He hasn't had I shouldn't say that. He hasn't had a goal in a while, and I think he's going to get another one. And I think Toronto's going to get a big win. And just to quickly put a little Shades point of the CFL, we will be covering CFL here on the Streakers Island all season long, and we'll be covering all 9 teams. There is a lot of podcasts, so each individual team, but we're going to cover all of them, and you can play all of them on the Streakers app. So it's going to be an amazing summer with the CFL. And Austin with a hattie. Yeah, I'll give him my hat if he does.
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching the Streakers Island podcast. Make sure to download the Streakers app, play along with us, jump in the sports booth, challenge any of us, especially Dan, because it's fun to challenge Dan, because then when he's wrong, you can make fun of him. It's a great time. Shades with the season tickets to the Red Blacks. So
nice.
Yeah.
It's be great to get his intel on the Red Blacks.
But thank you very much, everyone, for watching the Streakers Island podcast. Hopefully, we'll be back again if timing works out. If not, we will see you very soon. I may even become your sleep paralysis demon. We'll see. But thank you very much for joining.
Pizza.
Dan wants pizza at 4:36 on a Sunday.
Because by the time we get into the house, it'll be 5. So it'll be perfect timing.
Anyways, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for the comments.
Bye-bye.